Still in South Africa, Russian President Vladimir Putin has agreed to deepen ties with South African leader Cyril Ramaphosa. This comes after the United States accused Pretoria of secretly shipping arms to Russia. According to a statement released by the Kremlin, the two leaders expressed their intentions to further intensify mutually beneficial ties in various fields. The agreement followed a call between the two leaders. Now, joining us to discuss this, we are joined by South Africa political analyst Sisu Duma. Thank you so much, Sisi, for joining us on News Centre Now.
Thank you for having me, Rita.
Now, as an observer of the recent diplomatic spat between South Africa and the United States of America, what are your candid thoughts on the allegations of South Africa arming Russia?
Okay, so because we are, at the end of the day, observers and we are not privy to what happens behind closed government doors, I can't really have many thoughts on the legitimacy of the claim. However, I think that the way in which the ambassador relayed these claims to the world, relayed these claims through the media, was highly undiplomatic. And that alone makes us question the legitimacy of the allegations themselves. Because from what our government has reported, he breached protocol and did not communicate with them before he engaged the media with these disturbing allegations.
Now, with the manner in which the United States Ambassador of America responded to all of this, that is Ruben Brickety. Now, he made the claims and he has apologized for his statements. How is the South African government reacting to this?
The government has accepted the apology and they have reassured the country of South Africa and the people of America that relations do remain cordial, and they're continuing with engaging the ambassador along with the U.S. on this particular topic.
And amid all the back and forth coming on the heels of the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant on President Vladimir Putin and pressure being mounted for the arrest by South Africa of President Putin during the upcoming BRICS summit, South Africa and Russia a few hours ago agreed to close their ties. What does this say about the approach of the government of President Cyril Ramaphosa on the whole issue?
Look, Rita, at the end of the day, South Africa is a BRICS country. We are part of that coalition, and that means that we have strong ties and we have a working relationship with Russia prior to all these external bickering, fights and breakdown of affairs that have been happening between the countries. So I think President Ramaphosa's stance on saying that relations have strengthened and ties have deepened really shows that we as a country are not going to be bullied into changing our policies, into changing our allegiances, our partnerships because of external squabbles which we are not involved in, so to speak. So I believe that Ramaphosa's stance was actually very decisive, and it shows that our country is firm in its policies, but we are also willing to engage to establish a working relationship with all countries in the world.
You will agree, Sisi, that there will still be more pressures mounting from the United States. Can you, or do you feel that the ambassador can still be trusted? And how do you see all this playing out in the coming days? Because Ramaphosa also said there's an inquiry put into the allegations put forward by the ambassador. So how do you see all this playing out in the coming days?
Okay, to address your first question about the ambassador and his relationship with South Africa in general, I do believe that it has broken down, not with the government, not with the political structures, but with the people of the country. I think that what he did and the manner in which he did it was extremely, if I can say, offensive to the people of South Africa, because it was not received well, it was not relayed well. But in terms of how this is playing out, I have this analogy that I've thought up about this whole situation. It feels like South Africa is a child caught between two divorcing parents. A mother and a father are fighting over this country, over this child. And now this child loves both parents, but at the end of the day, they need to make a decision about which parent will take care of them better, which parent will serve their needs better, which parent will develop them better. And I believe that the BRICS summit that's coming up, I believe in August, will be the deciding point whereby it shows where South Africa really stands, because there has been an arrest warrant issued out for Vladimir Putin, of which the US has instructed us to arrest him when he lands here. However, South Africa seems to be quite indecisive about how they'll respond to that. So I think our response to Putin setting his foot on our soil will be that determining factor on exactly which parent we've chosen.
And looking at those determining factors, I mean, how do you see this playing out? Because on one side, we had news of South Africa withdrawing from the ICC. And on the other side, they said, OK, they've agreed, the ANC agreed not to withdraw from the ICC. But at the same time, South Africa is still caught in between the storm, because in August, there's a possibility that the Russian President Vladimir Putin will come to South Africa, just like you said. How is it going to play out for South Africa? What do you think is going to be the determining factor?
It's been such an indecisive circus, just to be perfectly honest, because at some point South Africa was even trying to make the meeting with Putin virtual to avoid any conflict. However, Putin himself has said, I'm coming, so you decide what you're going to do. So it appears that the ANC, which is part of the ruling party under the government, wants Putin to come and there will be no arrests. The EFF, which is also an opposition party, has made it very clear that South Africans will defend Vladimir Putin should anyone try to arrest him. However, we've got an opposition party called the Democratic Alliance, which is the main opposition, and they have a firm stance that they want Putin arrested. So it all lies in the hands of our international relations and our president to make a firm decision to call on the country to rally together in one choice, because it seems that everyone is pulling at all strings. But as it stands, and with the recent statement made by the president that ties have deepened, my opinion would say that Putin will land in South Africa. He will not be arrested, and we will remain a strong ally to BRICS and to Russia.
All right, thank you so much, Sisi. We'll definitely wait for August and see what moves South Africa will take on this. Thank you for joining us on NC Now.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.